Well, hey everybody. I want to welcome everyone back to the Geneva Sub in HO scale. This is season 7 of the layout, and this will be update number 5. Just wanted to give you a quick update. It's been a great summer here in New England. It's quickly coming to a close, unfortunately. And then once again, I get down here and I start working on the layout. Um, so one of the big things that happened recently was had a little bit of water damage down here. So what I did is I ended up redoing my floor just so that it was going to be all set to work down here this winter. It took about 3 weeks to finish that project just to get everything back where I like it, up underneath the helix and along the entire floor all the way to the other side has been all refinished. So now I can get on to the fun things, and that is actually working on the layout. So this season, one of the big things that we're going to start working on is going to be train controller software for the layout. My girlfriend is actually very interested in learning that program and becoming a dispatcher for the layout down here, which I think is really exciting. She's catching on actually pretty quicker than I do as far as the computer stuff goes. But it's going to be a big help with the layout and running it down here. So on top of that, one of the things that I'm going to work on right at the beginning of the season is getting track 1 installed up through the Mississippi River Bridge. That's the final piece of track that needs to get installed across the bridge and around the corner into Clinton, Iowa. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to get done down here. And then once that is complete, we're going to go ahead and come around the corner here. And I'm going to start working. If you remember from last season, most of the track work was down over here in Clinton, Iowa. The next big thing is going to be starting to do some scenery, get the clouds put in the backdrop, getting all the building lights to actually light up, and then underneath there's quite a bit of wiring that still needs to be done under here and some tortoises put in. And then all this gets hooked up into this panel number 3 on the BDL 168s and the SC8C signal decoders. So that entire section of the layout up here is actually on its own circuit breaker, so that if anything shorts out on a turnout out here up in this area, nothing else on the layout is going to be bothered by it. So this is the next big step that I think I want to accomplish on top of getting the track going across the Mississippi River Bridge. And all of the buildings up here are all ready to be lit up. I just have to get all the wiring underneath the layout. So that this whole area should have a nice glow to it. And then the track work through here. There is a double crossover and then a little lead to switch out the grain cars. And double main line through here, track 1 and track 2, which are also going to most likely be used as some kind of, probably for passing. And then once you leave Clinton, Iowa, you go backstage and then you go into the top of the helix, and that goes all the way around the inside of the helix all the way down to the bottom and exits down here into the Clinton staging area, which is all down the bottom level here. And that is West End staging. And over here in Rochelle, I'm going to be working on the backdrop in this area, hopefully this winter also, and getting this done. A lot of the scenery here has been completed. Just the backdrop up in here needs to get finished. And then this little section over here next to the the little museum area. It's gonna have to get finished. And then also the power plant is still missing a couple of walls on the ceiling. But from this angle it looks great. And there's North 9th Street. And the big water tower. So on top of getting the floor done, last season I was able to get this entire corner scenic in with a nice modern day gas station. And if you look at the prior video, I actually lit this corner up. It looks really good. It came out nice. It's got some nice depth to it. And then up above that, over Lancaster Farm, I actually got the little field in here. Still got, you know, quite a bit to do up here. But I like being able to jump around from scene to scene, and then eventually it'll all come together. And then West Chicago Yard. I got some hairpin fence back there along the wall. That's going to go in right here in this area to protect the civilians from walking into the rail yard once I get this all scenic in. And the other thing that I finished today actually was an entire cleaning of all the track down here. So I had to move all the trains out of my Proviso East End staging yard. I just recently put these back, but all this whole area has been vacuumed and cleaned. And what I used to clean my track, and hold on a second, I'll show you. Okay, so we're all familiar with the very abrasive pad. For the real trouble areas, I still use this, you know, to clean my track. Only for the real problem areas now, which I don't really get too many of. What I've learned to use from some of my friends on Facebook is this stuff right here. And you want to make sure you get the plastic safe multi-purpose lubricant. It's electrical grade CRC. And then I take just some cork road bed and I cut it all up into little pieces, and then I just spray some of this on here, and then that's how I clean and lubricate my track. And this is actually a design to help improve electrical properties between the track and the trains, and it really gets a lot of that carbon that builds up between your track and your rail car trains. It cleans it off really well. So that's what I've been using, and one of the reasons I really like it is it doesn't scratch the surface of my rail, and every little microscopic scratch we get in our rail, which this definitely causes, will hold dirt, and then you start to lose performance in your trains. So that's the stuff that I use. I've been using it now for the past couple of years, and I just went through and cleaned the entire layout using that stuff, and I'm really happy with the way it turns out. So once this is the other end of West Chicago Yard, this is the other end that needs to get scenic in at some point. And a whole bunch of lights that need to still get installed. And then the steam shop's down below here, where I keep the entire fleet of Union Pacific steam locomotives and all the cars that go with them. And this is backstage, so I just call it Union Pacific Steam Shops. And then up above that is the West Chicago Yard facility, and the auto rack facility over here in this area. And then I still have the backdrop up here. This season I like to get working on some more, the photo backdrop, and kind of blend that all in. And then Ashton, Illinois. And looking down towards the beginning of the layout. And up on the top level here, It's going to be the scrap steel facility. This is Sterling, Illinois up here. Just a lot of mock-up buildings right now. Got some turnouts waiting to install. I'm just working on a track plan for this area up here. And once I get that finalized, this will start to take shape. And then below that is DeKalb. If we look off this way, we get downtown with West Chicago in the background. And then if we look over this way, we get the Y and the maintenance away facility in the middle. The old coal tower. I still have to scenic this area at some point. And up here is Edwards Farm. Then the other thing I did this season recently, within the past couple of days, I put the treads coming down into the layout room onto the stairs. And on top of finishing the floor, or I should say refinishing the floor, girlfriend had a great idea to use these bathtub mats. They self-adhesive mats on the floor to protect the epoxy from rolling around in the dispatch area. And that actually worked out really well. And then this now is going to be the area where the dispatcher is, of course. So if we back up, this is what you see when you first walk into my layout room. Still a lot of things to finish, but this is year number 7, and this is only update number 5. So I'm sure I'll have more of these to go, and every little bit helps. I'm down here as much as I can over the summertime, but I enjoy being outside too. But I was able to get this all cleaned up. Not that it was dirty, but it needed a new floor. It needed some track cleaning to be done before I could really officially get this season underway. Found a new home for all the wire underneath there. And coming around the peninsula, this is looking down with Rochelle, Mississippi River Bridge, Clinton, and Global 3, which unfortunately is now going to become historic, I guess, just like my Chicago Northwestern signals. Alright folks, just wanted to throw out a quick update for everybody. I'm still here, the layout's still here, doing well, things are moving along, and I'll try to get more videos up as soon as I can. Take care.